Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Welcome to Studio Chatter. Today we'll be entertained and learn a few things too.
I'm Stacy Beck. We'll be joined by a local performer as she releases a new album.
And I'm Angie Murphy. If you're in the hunt for a new job or working from home, we'll talk about how to put your best foot forward.
We've got lots to talk about coming up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. Can you believe that we're in the middle of August? How slow and how fast can this year go?
It's a Stacy's shirt, you know? It's
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, I love the shirt, by the way.
I had to wear it.
1-star rating, huh?
Yeah, this is how I rate all my books on Goodreads.
Okay.
So when it popped up on my feed, I'm like, oh, and then it came in mustard yellow. Win-win.
Your favorite. Hello.
Yes,
So-
fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of
true.
truth to that, right? So it's gone really slow.
Right.
So in March and April, when we were stuck at home in true quarantine, I mean, the days were dragging on
Yeah.
and on. And all of a sudden, we're in August, it's back to school, and it's rush, rush, rush. And
Right.
then
I
you
feel
start
like
counting
life
down,
is
like
just
summer's
like
over.
doubled. Like we're really having to make up for anything that we didn't do. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just feels like I've gotten like 10 wedding invitations, 10
Yeah.
showers, like just events now.
I've
one
never
after
been this
another.
busy in August
Right.
with weddings and showers.
Me either. Like June.
Are you getting wedding and shower invites? Okay, I was wondering if it was maybe our kids' age, young
Right.
adults. I don't know.
I just keep like Amazon.
Ship it
Yeah,
here, ship it
shipping it.
here.
Yeah.
But since we filmed last,
Yes.
you've been on two
I got
little
two-
vacays.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went up to Midway
Oh, fun.
for a weekend, and that was so fun because we just stayed in Midway. I texted Angie and said, where should we eat? We ate at the corner,
Did you like it?
what was it, the Corner Cafe?
Corner store. Corner.
It's on the
something.
main street. I
Corner
would drive
restaurant.
up there to eat there. Like everywhere we ate was just so
It's
good,
so-
and it was just so
that's
pretty.
cool.
And then we went with my family down to Lake Powell, my 3 brothers and my mom.
Nice.
Just the
none-
adults.
No, but none of my family came, so that was weird.
But kind of enjoyable
It
sometimes.
was very relaxing, and it was the first time ever that I've stayed in a hotel.
How did you feel?
My gosh, when you get a good night's sleep, you can handle the 100-degree days a
Right.
lot better.
Like if we didn't have the houseboat that we do,
That would
it's
make
like
a big difference
being in
because
a
we usually
hotel
camp
to
on
get
the
out
beach
of the cool.
or take our trailer, and Chris didn't go. So, anyways, it was
that's
so
nice.
good. It
I'm
was so
glad.
good.
So what do you do? Like go out on the boat and then go back to the hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my brothers were right there camping, so we would like eat dinner on the beach and sit there until the stars came out, and then hop in the truck and just go to the hotel. Which
Oh.
my mom liked that a ton better.
Oh yeah.
We look so nice and
know,
tan.
Just
you
lots
sure
of skin
do.
damage. Amy was here last time, with
Should hate us.
skin.
Oh,
yeah,
nice
it's
segue, though.
Concerns and the age spots start
Age
to creep
spots.
up,
So,
like the
yeah,
little
so
whites.
speaking of Amy, I, in fact, styling my hair, not really styling, but before arriving here
Yes.
tonight, I'm like, dang, I wish it was next week. So we followed up at our house and made our appointments with Amy. So we're,
With your Brazilian blowout?
Yes, so we're going to the salon this week. So Barrett and I will be making our visits. So hopefully we'll be even and cut and
So will
colored
you
and
go
beautiful
at the
next
same time?
No.
Okay.
No, we will not.
That would be a
because-
long day.
Yes, because the process for the Brazilian blowout will take hers will probably take 3 times. She talked about washing
Yes.
and kind of combing it out. Hers will take about 3 different times.
Okay.
So I'll drop her, leave her happily, and go back.
How
for
long
her.
did yours take?
So I don't have to do the blowout. I'm pretty naturally
Oh,
straight.
okay.
But Mama needs some styling and some coloring and some help in that
Some help with
department.
your-
So
My
that
hair's
sounds like
feeling
heaven.
it needs help. It's just dry and
Yeah.
frizzy and just, yeah. I went to the store today and picked up some things to give it some
did you
moisture.
do the deep conditioning treatment that she gave us?
No. Have you?
No. So I'm saving that for my after.
Okay.
But you'll have to
Okay.
do that.
I
Do
know.
a little treatment for yourself and your foot treatment.
Oh,
so
I
I'm
looked
kind of
through my
saving.
package.
I got it
I'm
all out
saving
and
my,
looked at it all.
my
She's
package.
sweet.
Yeah, that was a nice little package. So
was.
thanks again for that.
Yes. Have you started back to school shopping?
Yes.
Okay. What's your recommendation?
So it's a little bit different this year. We've done a lot more online this year. I think you remember me talking about the whole waiting in line at the outlet stores.
Yeah. No,
That
not
didn't
gonna do
happen.
it.
No. So I went home and we ordered the Vans shoes online. So we did shoe shopping online, and that worked out so far. What else did we do online? Some of the boutique style stuff online for Barrett. And then just some of the traditional shopping, so Old Navy, JCPenney, Kohl's.
So you've gone to all of those stores or
No.
online?
So online, and it's just because it's so nice that I can kind of pick their sizes, and there's some really great coupons. I know there were some friends and family things that had gone around, so up to 30%. There's a lot of free shipping, so lots of things to take advantage of that way. And then as far as just like in-store shopping, I am loving there's one brand in particular at Walmart, Wonder Nation. Has some really cute styles. So
Really?
yeah, so I'm just kind of grabbing a mix of the. I'm not giving a bunch of choices this year. I'm kind
I
of
was going
like.
to ask, do you let them hop online with you and choose things?
Sometimes, for sure, on the shoes. I mean, and they have some very specific ideas, Barrett in particular, about some of the things they want.
Yeah.
Like tie-dye is very popular this year. Acid wash is very popular. I feel like all those
Back to
styles
the
are kind
80s,
of yes,
right? Or
coming-
90s, I
90s,
guess.
yes. I
Yep.
think all of those things are coming back again. She likes kind of the hoodies and kind of the baggy stuff. Gunner not so much.
Yeah.
But there are things that she'll get on there and say that. So
So you and Gunner's going to be in first,
yes.
and she's in
And
fourth.
they got teachers today.
Oh, you did?
Their teacher assignments were assigned today, so we know.
So
we
we're
know
going back for
We're
real.
going back.
And Bo's a senior.
Bo's a senior.
Has he even thought about shopping?
We thought about it like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then I said, "Okay, bud, we need to go out." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Boys
so
are
we
just-
still have not done anything. And I'm like, "Son, what are you going to wear to school?" I don't know. It's like, we'll just buy some stuff as we go.
Isn't he so much more affordable than the two girls?
Kind of. I mean, he's got like a good fashion sense, and what he likes is more pricey.
Okay.
But he's very like cautious with what he buys, or you know,
Okay.
he's very particular with it. But I think he has to process it. So right now it's just football. So
Yeah, I would
maybe
think
when
so,
we get our
too.
fird game underway, then maybe
He'll be like,
go.
I'm ready to. And you guys had a
And
red
it'll
and
be
gray
the night
game.
before, and then he'll be like, "Where are we going?"
Yeah.
What-
Red and gray game.
Yeah, and it was a little bit different. Coach decided with it being COVID and the cheerleaders have been in quarantine because 4 of their girls were like kind of
exposed?
exposed to it a little bit.
no, okay.
And so they couldn't come to the game, and then the band couldn't come. So we
Oh.
just had our cute drill team perform.
Okay.
And he just did it more like in their practice, like attire, and
Oh,
just kept
okay.
it a little bit shorter. But we set up, we did the flags, we had our booth set up, we were selling like our face masks.
Those are going to sell. You know what I loved is the sign that you showed on your Instagram that had a picture of a football player with the helmet on that says, "Please wear your mask so I can wear mine."
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you sit in the bleachers and not wear your mask knowing that
If
we-
you don't, and
these guys can't
yeah,
play?
expose each other, then they can't. And that was, in fact, a last-minute request from one of the administrators. They just reached out to us and said, "If we want football to keep happening, is there any way you can help us?" And so I just grabbed some of our photos, and we're making some
looks
more of
good.
some other boys, so it'll
I like
be fun.
it. Good luck,
But
Ange.
yeah, it's fun.
Love that.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, in relation to school shopping for the littles, because I know you were talking about maybe doing some back to school shopping
Yes.
with your granddaughter and
Right.
face masks. Maybe just a quick shout out to our friend Amy from
please.
Favored Youth Clothing online. She has some really cute children's face masks and also some really cute little girl and boy and even teenager size clothing too.
That's true.
So
Well, isn't that funny that the face mask is a new accessory for this year's school clothing?
there's a lot of fun
Yeah.
things.
And to promote stuff. Like,
And to
it
promote.
would be a great brand promoter to get a lot of
Yes.
people in
Right?
that.
Yeah, in fact, and then we even, just by way of style, we picked up some for Barrett that have the polka dots and like little sequin style and some
Like
lace.
sequins on the mask?
Just, yeah, they're just like,
How cute.
yeah, they're like kind of shimmery. And
Okay.
for Gunner, there's like camouflage styles. And I know she said with the white ones, tie-dye is very popular. So people are buying the white ones and you can tie-dye themselves. Or if you have somebody that's a little more artsy, you can draw an art by yourself. So,
So
there's
did your
tons of
kids,
things to do.
last time you brought your shield,
Yes.
are they going to do the shield or are they going to do the mask?
They're going to do a combination of
Okay.
both. So we have both so they can kind of pick and choose.
I think
There
that's
you
a good
go.
idea because
Yeah.
once you get going,
Yeah.
they'll probably have their favorites.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay,
Yep.
likewise. Okay, well, here we go. Next on Studio Chatter, are you working from home? We've got some help for you. Stay with us. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. The pandemic has certainly had a severe effect on the working world. Let's get the inside help from Taylor Nelson, who is the Corporate Recruiting and Internship Manager for Nexio HR. Thanks for being here with us, Taylor.
Yeah, of course.
Hi,
My wife's been on a couple of times, so I couldn't let her be the only famous one in the
So it's
house.
your turn, right?
Yeah,
His
my turn
mother-in-law
now.
just makes him do the craziest
Yeah,
things.
announce a football game. So, but I'm happy to be here. It's fun talking about
for
stuff.
people not connecting that.
This is my cute son-in-law, but
Yeah.
son. He's awesome. And he's got, you guys, he's got mad skills about everything. Like anytime I have like a technical question or how would you do this, he's creating Excel sheets. He's good at what he does. So
Well,
I'm excited to hear his
I think
take
this
on
is
it.
very
Yeah.
timely, and I think there are people in certain situations right now that are either unemployed or looking for work, and I know I've had a lot of questions for people that are searching for work right now, even about the whole interview process.
Yeah.
Like how that's going on through Zoom, or there's no contact, or how do you dress for that, or how to represent yourself.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's just start at point one with the
You
new
are-
resume. What is the new resume?
Yeah.
What does that look like or not look like?
That's a good question. Honestly, like LinkedIn is probably the new resume.
Okay.
I tell people, like even my wife, like she's a nurse and she even feels like she doesn't need a LinkedIn, but there are so many just professional type people who are on LinkedIn who are always looking. I think the past 2 jobs that I've had have come from LinkedIn, whether it's
Really?
Interesting.
knowing someone at the company where they can put a good word in for you, or just kind of networking, and like something I do on the side is like a little podcast. It's not anything too crazy, but I've interviewed people from like Franklin Covey up in Salt Lake, and they found me through LinkedIn. So I would say LinkedIn is the new resume, and even if you're in a position that's not like professional, right? Like it's still something that you can have to build out your network, and it's almost like social media. You know, it's not as like picture focused as Instagram or information focused as Facebook, but it's more, here's my resume, or here's this podcast that I'm doing, or here's something that our company is doing. So I think it's a good way to get your professional network going. And I was listening to this podcast a little bit ago, and they said that your network equals kind of your net worth. And so the more connections you have on there, I think the better it is. Because as a talent acquisition professional, I manage a team of 5 or 6 different people.
Okay.
And every time someone applies, if they have a resume, great, but I'll almost always look them up on LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
And
To
so
see how others respond to
Right.
them or what other skills maybe that
what
they
other
have
skills
or
and like
connections.
LinkedIn, yeah, it allows you to put on like certifications, like if you're certified in like Salesforce, or if you're certified with like digital marketing tools. I used to work at a digital marketing place, so that was something that I would always look at. You can give people recommendations, so it's almost like a live action.
I
Here's
was
my
just going to
reference,
say that,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because
live feed of their life a little bit.
and a lot of time, like on resumes, it's like check your references, and then you have to call 4 people, and they're always going to say the best
They're
stuff
great,
about people.
yeah.
But you can give recommendations, you can get them from other people, and so it's almost like just a live view of who somebody is, in addition to their resume. So I would say it's good to have a resume, but LinkedIn is probably the way of the future for sure.
So I've also heard that the number of contacts that you have in LinkedIn, I mean, how true is that? So if you have 500 or more or less, or, you know,
I feel like it's kind of gray area. Like there's a lot of people, like I think on LinkedIn I have like 500 plus connections, but I probably don't know everybody.
Okay.
But again, like it's through the networking that someone that you know someone that they know, and
Yeah.
then you're getting a job that way.
Okay.
Like for example, when I got hired at the last company that I worked for, I knew somebody who had previously worked with the president of that company, so it was kind of an indirect connection. But I knew him, I had played like football with him once, and so he put a good word in for me, and I got the job offer the next
Wow.
day. So I
So
think
it
it's
is
just
who you know and those
Yeah.
connections and being able to
Right.
utilize it in a good platform.
Yeah, and I think you have to just be conscious of who you're connecting with. And I think one thing that I tell like my team members or people who are interviewing with me is like connect with people who you wants to, if you want to be in a position like that. Like I would connect with people who are HR directors or HR managers or talent acquisition, like people that I want to become or companies that I want to work for. Like I would connect with those people so I can see what content they're posting. I can kind of digest what they're going through on the professional day-to-day stuff, and then it helps me kind of align myself with who they are. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
does.
So would you be a good person to contact, like if I did not have LinkedIn and I did not know anything about it, how would I move forward doing that?
Yeah, so I mean, they have the website, like linkedin.com, you can
Okay.
go through that, and it really kind of builds out like a resume for you. And it's unique because it gives you like your own personal like URL. And so a lot of times like I'll put that link on my resume, on my physical copy of my resume. So that way companies can go through that, People will put on their business cards.
Oh, wow.
And people can attach it to like your email signature. If you know, people, my
Okay.
wife makes fun of me because I have a signature on my email, but you know, it's even like just someone like my wife, for example, who's a nurse, or like my mom who teaches school. Like it's important, I think, to have a LinkedIn, even if you feel like you're never going to use it.
Okay.
So I think, you know, the website's a great place to start and kind of going through that.
So Studio Chatter, ladies, we need a link.
I started one during the pandemic at Utah Valley Magazine. We were encouraged to
There you
do
go.
it, and
Yeah.
I've just avoided it because I just think it's one
One
more
more thing.
thing
Yep.
that I've chosen not to do. But just after listening to you,
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
And it
I need
can
to
be a
do
lot
it.
to keep up on, but like you said, like on a resume, I feel like if you were applying for a job, like I wouldn't get the full effect of what this is or what Utah Valley Magazine
Right.
is. And so on LinkedIn, you can post links to Studio Chatter, or you could post links to the magazine, right? And so I can actively go and look at who Stacy Beck is as a professional, rather than just assuming who you are on a piece of
Okay.
paper.
It really makes me realize the wave of the future with job hiring is the technology, the
Right.
connections.
Yeah, and people reach out to me all the time for like resume tips. I've helped a handful of people, and I think I'm just weird. I kind of just enjoy doing that stuff and just
That's
scouring through
great.
He's a
resumes.
true
So,
HR guy.
so yeah, but I enjoy it, and I like just kind of. But I've reached out to 4 or 5 people who need help, and,
Yeah.
and I think LinkedIn is just a great way to connect with people who you might not otherwise have known.
So how have you seen COVID affect the workplace?
Yeah, I think especially at Nexio, so we're a talent acquisition agency, so we partner with other companies. We facilitate a lot of the HR functions, whether companies have an HR department or maybe they're a startup and they don't have any HR presence. So we would go in and help with things like payroll or compliance or just recruiting and hiring. And so a lot of like with the COVID stuff is people will come to us, and I tell people a lot of times is like staffing companies or talent acquisition companies can be the job that you want versus the job that you need. And I think COVID threw everyone for a little bit of a loop, right? If you're out of work, if you're unemployed or furloughed, like a staffing organization like Nexio is the job that you probably don't want, but the job that you need to
Right.
keep bringing in some sort of an income, expand your skill set a little bit. And so I think companies would rely on Nexio or other staffing companies more in times like this, and staffing companies usually see an increase in productivity just because companies want to increase their workforce, but they don't want to have the burden of employee costs. So that's kind of how I've seen it. We've been super busy. Our team just in Lehigh, we have like 75 open positions right now. We have positions here in Utah. We have positions in California and Texas and
Wow.
Chicago and Florida. So we're all over the place hiring for entry level like admin jobs, but also very high level like VP positions. So,
Wow.
so staffing companies are a really great resource if you're out of work, if you've been furloughed, if you want to just try something new and get some
Yeah.
new skills. It's not as it's not as insecure of a job as some people would think.
Okay.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to place people in a job working from home and then kind of follow up to make sure that they're following
Yeah.
through
Yeah, that's-
on what they have said either on that remote interview or in their
Right.
resume or
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's been tough, like managing interviews through like Zoom calls or just video chats in general. And I'm used to the normal process of, hey, come in and meet with us at 10 o'clock. They show up, you have an interview, something like this, right, in
Right.
person. And so it's been a lot more challenging trying to follow up with people and keep tabs on people. But luckily, like we just try and stay as persistent as we can. And I think most people are pretty tech savvy, that they have LinkedIn, they have an email address, they have somewhat of a smartphone device that they can be available. At Nexio, we try and reach out to people through email. We have texting services so we'll probably bug people 4 or 5 times before they actually try and get rid of us. But it has been challenging trying to get people to stay committed to jobs. And I think a lot of the time with the unemployment changes, which has been great for a lot of people who are without work,
Right.
but I think that's been challenging, another kind of hurdle to overcome, as people are not as inclined to get back to work as quick. And I can't say that I wouldn't blame some of them.
Because they're making as much money on
Right.
unemployment.
Yeah, or more.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
couple of
Some
friends who
cases.
we had a couple of great positions, and I said, hey, come work with us, like I can get you a job. It's like, I'm golfing every day, man.
Oh.
So anyway, it's one of those things, but again, I think it goes back to the job that you want versus the job that you need. Because
Right.
I've talked to some people who have been in VP level roles and they're just looking for something to get by. We just hired someone today who took a temporary 8-week assignment just because he needed to, right? And so I think that's kind of the benefit of a staffing company and really expanding your resources a
Right.
little bit there.
So those references really do play a big role, probably for work ethic and follow through and all of those good things on a social platform.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Okay.
I like in your notes, it says, keep learning and don't sell yourself
just
short.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that thought.
Yeah, and I think, I think a lot of times I think kind of the stereotype with staffing companies is that it's just a temp job or they're not really long-term opportunities. And I think maybe going back to the job that you want versus the job that you need, like don't just take a job because you need one. I was listening to a podcast, it's called How I Built This. If you haven't listened to it, it's really good. They just interview a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of successful people who have really just gone through these challenging things and been very successful. And I think the podcast I listened to was with Ring.com, the gentleman that invented that. And it was just an interesting story that he wasn't really trying to invent the doorbell camera, he was trying to invent something else, and he just needed a doorbell camera to see his front door while he was tinkering in the garage, right? And so it's pretty interesting actually. But he talked a lot about, his wife would always tell him it's just the season of life, like going bankrupt or putting in like leveraging the mortgage on your house, like that's just the season of life. And so I think when I put that on my notes, it's just a season, like COVID hopefully will pass or employment will get back to somewhat of a normal thing. And so I think a lot of people have to just realize and be okay with that. This is just the season of life. It's just a time in your life, and you can either use COVID as an excuse to kind of stay where you're at, or you can use it as kind of a stepping stool to get to somewhere better, hopefully on the other side of it.
I love that.
I do
and
too.
oftentimes those temporary jobs can become permanent.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, and we've had, at Nextio we do a little bit of everything. We have temporary assignments that are 6 to 8 weeks. We have temp to hire jobs where if you're working with an organization long enough, then they would offer you a full-time position. But we also help companies transition directly from us to the company. So you're not really working with Nextio, we're just kind of facilitating the process.
Right.
So I think if you do your homework as a candidate, if you really reach out to people, if you can become friends with a recruiter or a talent acquisition person, that's probably going to be your best friend as a professional. I've had a lot of people that I've worked with said, man, I sure love that I know a recruiter. Because I'll have people all the time like, do you have any jobs on this? Do you know any jobs about that? And so, and I'm just wired to I just like to search and just send people hundreds of links to apply. And so it's been fun, but I think it's been challenging as well because people are trying to find that perfect fit, but they're scrambling because it's just a different time right now.
Well, it sounds
So
like you're a perfect
enlightening.
fit.
Thank you
He is
so
so
much.
good at what he does.
Very good.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks
Of
so
course,
much.
yeah, it was fun.
Check out his podcast too.
Oh yeah.
I have an interview coming up with another guy. His name's Joey Price. So hopefully that'll happen soon. But yeah, I interviewed Scott Miller a couple weeks ago from Franklin Covey. He's their VP of like thought leadership, and that was actually pretty good. But he said one thing, sorry if I maybe take a couple more seconds, but he mentioned something to me that I think will stick, and I've mentioned it to my brother-in-law about playing football, but he always mentioned that he encourages his team to make new mistakes, and he mentioned that it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to fail, but don't make the same mistake twice. So as long as you're failing, you're learning from it and doing something different. And I think it applies in a situation like this of, revamp your LinkedIn. If it doesn't work, then you figure out what happened and you do it better the next time. So yeah, I appreciate you all having me on. This has been
Thanks,
fun,
Taylor.
and I'm glad that I can hopefully come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll talk about the Parade of Homes. Stay with us for more Studio Chatter. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Did you get a chance to see the Parade of Homes? We love talking about home ideas. Let's get a report. Well, Stacy. So I talked about going virtually. So that didn't happen. I don't know what happened. I just got busy.
Busy. And
I
did you
drove
go?
by and then I realized that it was a retirement community right of home.
So you must have drove by the one here in Spanish Fort.
I did, and it looked
Acres.
so cute. And I saw some older people out and about, and now it made sense. But yeah, it looked darning down there though for them.
So where did it span? Like, what was the span of homes? Because I feel like I may have seen one also in Draper.
Yes, it really did start up in Draper.
Okay.
And it was kind of like North County, nothing central, and then south. Originally, there were supposed to be like 26, 27 homes, but COVID bumped it to July 23rd is when it started. Normally starts like June 1st. So there were several homeowners that were like, we don't want to wait 2 more months to close
Right,
on
we're
our
in.
home.
Oh gosh.
And
yeah.
so they decided to do some virtual. So every home you could see virtually.
Cool.
But about 6 or 7 of the homes were only virtual. And then
You can't blame them.
No.
You really
No,
can't.
that's like 2
and I
months of
did
hold
see
time.
a couple of
Exactly. Yeah.
posts. I mean, and they said they really, really, really highly recommended like no children.
yeah, you didn't see a lot of kids this year.
So I know that's one reason
Yep.
that Keith and I had talked about if we were going to do it, that we would have only done
Yeah.
it virtually and just like,
Yeah,
and
I-
the kids are a headache
I
anyway. That's
didn't-
one thing that you want to do, kind of adult only.
Yeah.
And take in the ideas. And so, yes, let's talk
Well,
trends.
usually, I've been going to the Parade of Homes for 30 years, and
Right.
that's part of my job is selling ads for the Parade of Homes magazine. So I think that kind of motivates me to
Right.
go see what the builders and what the new trends are and what's going on, and it's so fun. And I've got to the part and stage in life, I guess, that I don't go and covet anymore.
That's nice.
And I think it's just because you just know what it takes to get all that, and I don't think it's worth the sacrifice for me personally to have
you
these.
just kind of know where you're at.
Yeah,
And
I'm like,
so-
do I want a 20,000 square foot home?
you can
So-
want it.
No, I don't even want it. The whole time I'm just
can't
like,
even
oh.
imagine.
You're like, do I want to clean it?
So I think the
making it.
pantries always get to me. Because the pantries in the Parade of Homes
so
are
nice.
just so organized, and they have bottles of, their drinks just all organized. That's not a real house. And I think
That's like a one-time setup deal.
oh, totally.
Well, it could be
Or
your
if you have
house.
older
it
kids.
could be your house because you're super organized.
No,
and
because
you
you
might,
should see my
and
house.
you
It's
might
not
live
like that.
there.
I could organize that house, but that's not going to be
We
my
know that
house.
I wouldn't live there.
And you
It
could
wouldn't be that
organize it, but
organized.
then once you start living, you need to redo your pantry a lot.
You have
Yeah.
to live in it.
Some of the trends I saw, that dark, deep green
really?
is coming
Forest
back.
green?
Ew.
Oh my
Yep, in
goodness.
furniture and walls,
plaid?
front doors, no plaid.
plaid yet?
No plaid yet, but that
polo?
deep, deep green.
We're like
Was it-
reliving my
I
high
know.
school years.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the
Green
dark green
carpet.
kitchen and the living
Yeah.
room and then
So if I saw
That's
more in like
wallpapers
accents,
and
pillows.
more pillow. I mean more color.
Yeah,
than
more.
The grays and whites, or not?
But it was like green was the color, but then a lot more neutrals, like wood, just very earthy.
Ew,
So
pretty.
that's kind of,
That's
I
it.
guess, if that's a description.
that is.
A little more wallpaper, which I think we probably all remember peeling off so much wallpaper, it's hard to even have that desire to
it's
put it up.
not even fun.
I would love to put it up, but it's so expensive. And then it just doesn't seem easy to put up. So then you have to pay someone. It just seems like to do a little main bathroom is going to cost $400. So
Right.
that's not.
Not feasible, really.
Yeah,
or
that's a lot.
wanting.
So one thing that we pulled up to one Parade of Homes. I still go with my high school friends.
oh, how fun.
We go every year together. We pull up, and you know how they have is it the Roomba vacuum? Roomba. Did you know they have a lawnmower?
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
I did.
I did not know that. We pull up and it's just going all over the lawn.
But does it create?
No,
good
it
lines?
didn't.
No, I can't do that.
That was my first thought. I bet a lot of people don't buy that because it doesn't
Like,
create the lines.
And it gets everything, but it takes a minute to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know about those.
we actually had the conversation because I tried talking Keith into buying it to do research for for work, but he really enjoys mowing the lawn. Like that's really his thing.
And
so,
you have said he likes the lines.
oh, he loves the lines.
I
He-
love the
that,
lines,
like
too.
I'm like I really wish you felt that way about other things
Areas
in
in
the
the
house.
house.
Yeah, because he's taken the indoor vacuum to the lawn to like tidy
those
up the
lines
lawn
in.
before because
Yeah.
he really likes the lines in the lawn. So.
Oh.
Yeah, he should be in charge of the Parade of Homes lawn area.
could.
He could.
If
but
he needed
won't
a
be.
second job.
If he need, yeah, don't
Lawn
go there.
service. Lawn service.
Well, that's so fun for you, though. Were there
So-
any like really cool outdoor kitchens or pools?
A
or,
lot of cool pools. We put a playground in our backyard, and we still have dirt under it because we can't decide what to do. And we found a playground that has turf under it. Like, you know, the fake grass. I'm like,
Yes.
anyway, that's answered one of my questions. Now I just need to get a bid, and we'll see what that comes in at.
Okay.
You
well,
guys
we're glad
missed
that
out.
you made
Hopefully
it.
No,
next
we did
year.
Next year.
'Kay.
We thought
We'll go
we
next
should
year.
talk about
Okay. We'll try. Next on Studio Chatter, we'll have a visit with Whitney Lusk. That's coming right up. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. It's been a few years since we last saw our next guest, but local girl does good. Welcome Whitney Lusk back to the program. Whitney has just released a new album, and we're excited to hear all about it. Welcome back, Whitney.
Welcome,
Hello.
Whitney.
Thanks for having me back.
And I'm so lucky I get to meet you for the first time,
I
so
know.
everything's new to me.
You are so lucky. Has it been 3 years, really?
Yeah.
Wow, time flies.
It doesn't seem like it was
Can
that
you just
long
give us
ago,
a quick
Just a
recap
recap.
of your last 3 years?
though. I got married in the last 3 years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
But with music, I've released 2 albums, I think, now.
Wow.
And I had a publishing deal in Nashville, but then it fell through because of COVID.
That was one of my questions. Like,
I was hoping you weren't going to say that.
So, but now I'm here, and I'm still here. and
so let's go back
probably
to that.
for a
How
while.
did the pandemic affect that deal?
So I go to a songwriters convention every October called Durango Songwriters Expo, and they just have high ups in the industry that go
Right.
there. And there was a guy there who I played a song, one of them that I'll play here tonight, and he really liked it, and so he offered a deal. And when we were in the middle of like doing the contract and stuff, he was like, "I actually can't offer you it anymore because we lost the funding because of COVID."
So this would have been like March timeframe?
Yeah, it probably would. We were planning on moving come like August-ish
Like moving for the deal, or you and your husband moving to Nashville?
to Nashville.
Whitney, that
So
would have been.
it was a thing,
Wow.
but now it's not.
It's a thing again, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, hopefully, because I made a lot of good contacts just going out there and writing all the time. But right now, there's not any.
So you referenced the Durango Festival. So are you talking like Durango, Colorado?
Colorado?
So they used to do it in Durango. Now they
No
hold
way.
it in Boulder.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
But
Boulder.
still, Colorado. Okay.
Yeah, but it used to be held in Durango. That's why they called it that.
And what do they do there?
They just get publishing, like publishers from different publishing companies in Nashville, and they'll have some heads of like studios, and they get them from the pop genre or the pop industry and the country industry. So they have some from LA, they have some from Nashville,
Okay.
and you just get put in panels, and you get to shop your songs, and then you'll get a showcase if they like you, and you get to play your song for everybody.
That
That is so
sounds
awesome. Like
truly
teeny.
intimidating.
It is.
How many years have you done that?
I've actually been doing that since I was 16.
Okay, so you don't get that like
Nervous
jitters,
jitters.
or
not
do you?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Just because they all know me pretty well there, and so it's kind of just like I'm playing with friends, you know.
Well, that's nice.
But there's definitely some people. There's a guy named Big Al.
Uh-huh.
He is actually the
That's
person
scary.
that found. I know. He found Megan Trainor at this expo.
wow.
And so, he's pretty intimidating.
Is he?
He's older,
Yeah.
but he's big, and he's like an incredible songwriter. He has
Okay.
tons and tons of hits. So
So all of you that go there take your own songs.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah, it's just for songwriters. So
that's so cool.
yeah.
So
Well,
now
the-
what are you doing now to transition from that deal not going through to pushing your career, whatever you're trying?
So I released this album, and I'm just trying to push that as much as possible and get lots of streams on Spotify and
know,
stuff like
should we
Is
that.
all
that how you do it? Is that like the main platform right now?
Yeah, because
Okay.
streaming is not the best, but
Right.
it does it, and it gets your music in front of people. You can shop your songs to like playlist curators and stuff. But
That's a lot of work. It seems
I
like a
just
lot
wanted
of
to
work.
ask you, like, how much work do you put into this weekly?
Yeah,
it's
like a
quite
day in the
bit.
life.
I mean, I do have like a day job too,
Okay.
so I try and do it as much as I can. I have one day a week that's just like specifically for music.
Okay.
And then at night when I get home from work and stuff, I try and record new demos of new songs to send to publishing companies and stuff too. But with this one, it's really all about like promoting it on social media. Because right now you
Really?
can't really go play shows. You can't do anything that way. So it's
Right.
all via social media and through Spotify and random stuff like that.
So this is an acoustic album, and certainly you probably have a lot of things that have been inspiring you since you've been kind of cooped up at home, or things that have been happening to you. Do you have a favorite song on the album?
My favorite song is actually the one that's the title track, the Anthems, and that's the song, so it's Anthems of My Life, and that's the song that they really liked at this Durango Expo.
Okay.
I wrote it with my guitarist, Dan Featherstone. He'll be here playing guitar for me, but that's why I wrote the whole album. Is I loved like old school classic country music, and that's not quite a thing anymore, and I really miss that. And so I wrote that song about what I grew up listening to, and then all the songs on the album are just stories about my life, because those are the songs that I fell in love with.
Now, I've known you for a long time. Would I happen to be in any stories that I would recognize?
Maybe
Okay.
in a few.
I will listen closely.
For sure.
Your name might be dropped.
Not even that, but like a dear neighbor or something like that.
Yes.
A very
Maybe.
popular influencer.
Maybe if not now, a future album.
Yes, and I'll come back.
Maybe
and
studio
Perfect.
chatter.
Ooh.
Yes.
You might need some help.
We can write
could
a
help
song
you.
together.
There
Yes.
you go. That
We
would be
can't
funny.
sing, but we could write. I'm sure we could.
So what's your favorite thing about your industry and what you're doing?
Honestly, I used to always love the singing part. That was like ever since I was 8 years old. I've been taking voice lessons, and I just love singing, and that's still my favorite thing. But in the past like year, I really have grown more of a love for songwriting, just because I've got the chance to write with some really incredible songwriters, and the ability to tell a story, even
Yeah.
if it's not yours, and make somebody feel something, it's just really cool. It's a really fun talent and gift to have, I guess. So
Definitely.
songwriting has become one of my favorite parts of it.
And when you say you sit down and work with someone, is it like sitting down side by side and writing something out and just bouncing ideas off of each other?
So, I mean, lately, no. It's all over like Zoom and Skype.
Normally.
Yeah, but yeah, you just go into a room with a stranger 9 times out of 10, and you just tell them about your life.
And they start writing, or you write, or
Yeah, I mean, there was one lady I wrote with in Nashville. Her name was Leslie Satcher. She wrote Troubadour by George Strait and Ain't Nothing to It by Cody Johnson. She's incredible. And every songwriter has a different way of writing. And
Okay.
with her, I walked in and I was just like telling her stories about my husband. Or the first song we wrote, I was telling her stories about the plane ride there. And she was like, she just came up with a melody, and then she came up with like a first line, and it was just like bam, bam, bam. And she was just amazing. But then there's other ones that I walk in and I have an idea and somebody just runs with it.
Okay.
And it just really depends on the writer, but it's really interesting.
Oh, I
It's,
bet.
like so creative. Like you
So
think about
creative.
art being like a visual, but music is that creativity
Yeah.
in here and in here.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's really fun.
All right, well, let's get right to it. Coming up next, we'll twist Whitney's arm so she'll perform for us on Studio Chatter. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. While we were in the break, we convinced Whitney to perform for us. Whitney, what will we hear first?
I'm gonna do the title track to my most recent album, Anthems of My Life.
Perfect.
I grew up on the radio dial in my daddy's truck, coming in a little fuzzy, but it got me stuck on the Eagles, George Strait, and a little bit of Dolly. That's where I found my voice, that's what changed me. I love the melodies, the way they spoke to me, and I love the honesty. They were songs about love, songs about trust, songs about listen to the radio in my own car. All good stuff, but when I hear that guitar and take it easy, Jolene, write this down. I go back to where I heard it the first time around. 'Cause I love the melodies, the way they spoke to me, and I love the honesty. They were songs about love, songs about trust, songs about everything that used to matter to us, songs about life and just getting by, songs that you heard and you just couldn't help but cry. Those are the anthems of my life. Now I'm writing songs for the radio. I'm just trying to say what I know. So I sing the melodies like the ones that spoke to me, and I write honestly. Songs about love, songs about trust, songs about everything that used to matter to us, songs about life and just getting by, songs that you heard and you just couldn't help but cry. Those are the anthems of my life. Those are the anthems of my life.
Yeah, I cried.
I didn't look over there, but at one point I thought, I wonder if Angie's crying. Oh, that was good.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
We have time for one more.
One more.
Okay. When I was younger, I had some pink glitter shoes, and when I'd wear them, I wasn't just a girl, I was a princess. I was a superstar and more, and there was nothing pulling color from my world. I'd twirl around in my little mermaid nightgown with my bedhead and my fake plastic crown. Yeah, it was simple, that little flame I had inside. It was easy, it was perfect, it was bright. Don't let that glitter wear off your shoes. They'll keep a sparkle if you keep up your groove. The world will let you down and break your plastic crown and turn the pinks into blues. But don't let the glitter wear off your shoes. Now that I'm older, that flame is getting smaller, getting harder. Paying bills with this guitar, and I wanna get back a sparkle in my step. How'd I forget that? 'Cause I was the one that said, don't let that glitter wear off your shoes. They'll keep a sparkle if you keep up your groove. The world will let you down, break your plastic crown, and turn the pinks into blues. But don't let the glitter wear off your shoes. I watch her twirling her little mermaid nightgown with her bedhead and her fake plastic crown. Yeah, she's my princess, she's my superstar, my world. Now I can see it, that flame in my little girl. Don't let that glitter wear off your shoes. They'll keep the sparkle if you keep up your groove. The world will let you down and break your plastic crown and turn the pinks into blues. But don't let the glitter wear off your shoes.
You were my little granny.
need to
good
stay
choice.
and do the whole thing.
Yes, let's do another.
Country music, you're right. It just tells stories.
It
Oh,
does.
that
It
makes
speaks
you
to your
feel
soul.
things.
It
That's the whole
does.
point.
And I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like some other genres, you just,
You're
like,
just like, I like that beat.
I don't know what they said.
I can't remember
So
that.
good.
Oh, Whitney.
You can sing to
Thanks
that.
for having me.
Oh,
We
thanks for
love
coming
you.
back.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
You're going to go big.
Well, thanks.
You are.
Absolutely.
One day you'll be in
One
Nashville,
day.
and Studio Chatter will come and follow you.
Yeah, you can do a
We'll
day
do
in
it
the life, an
together.
actual day
Yes,
in the
that
life.
would
There you
be
go.
That'd be
amazing.
fun.
Best of
Well,
luck.
there's no doubt that people are still watching and paying attention right now. So, what's the best way to follow you
Instagram.
right now? Okay, Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whitney Lusk Music, and that if you go there, it has a link to where you can get the album and everything. So
Okay.
Well, thank you for
Thank
our
you
copies.
so
I'm
much.
excited to hear
Yeah,
the
me
other
too.
songs.
yeah,
I'm
let
gonna
me know what you
listen.
think.
Okay, we will.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Whitney.
Thank you.
There's more studio chatter coming up. Welcome back to Studio Chatter. What did we learn today, ladies?
was
So
a fast
much.
one.
It was good. It fed like my soul,
Oh,
and then Taylor
yeah.
fed like my brain,
That's a good way to describe it.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like really fulfilled tonight.
Like Taylor was giving us information so quickly.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I'm following. Okay, this.
Uh-huh. Everything making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love when there's just so much good content
Uh-huh.
and you walk away with, yeah, I really do need to do that. Like,
like
I
feeling
need to.
inspired. Yeah.
totally. And I said that to him. I said, oh, I need to go update my LinkedIn. Like, I feel inspired to do that or more motivated
Yeah.
to do something to move yourself forward or because
If you're not happy and staying stagnant and not doing anything, you're never going to get somewhere different.
Right.
And
And
I think that was
I
the
feel
vision
like
there.
COVID has maybe done that a little bit
Oh,
to be a little
absolutely.
Yes.
stagnant, to just
Yes.
like, oh,
And almost
maybe
be
the
content.
humdrum.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, haven't done that.
Right, but it's
doesn't
okay
matter.
because it's COVID, right? We're like COVID convenient right now, guys. We use it as like
But maybe
our
we
convenience.
all need it.
Maybe we
Maybe
needed it
really
down.
we need like just
Slow
an
it down.
excuse to be like, okay,
If I need to stay home from this wedding, then I
It's
can because
COVID.
it's COVID. I need to wear my mask.
I'll go everywhere whenever I want, but I better not go to the wedding.
I'm gonna be at Walmart every day, but
No weddings for
no
me.
weddings.
Oh. Yes, and I can't
Whitney,
wait to go
I
and get in my
know.
car and put in
And
this
listen
CD.
to that.
That was good. It's good country music that just makes you think about life and visualize it so well.
And how she was saying, like, kind of back to the roots, like that other old time country, it kind of had that feel of it.
Yeah.
But telling a story, and geez, for me to get all teary and choked up, it must have been what I needed tonight.
Yeah,
It was
that was
really
good.
good.
Hard to
spoke.
believe it's been 3 years. That just goes to
No.
show you how quickly
I was really thinking a year,
3 years.
but you've been here a year. And we never even officially celebrated your 1 year anniversary.
Wow, we need to do that.
Why didn't
I'd like
we
a
do
cake.
that?
We must have cake.
I'd like cookies.
cookies.
Cookies,
Is that
crumble
your thing?
cookies?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We do have our birthday party coming up in 2 months.
Wow.
That'll
Okay.
be our 4th.
Let's do some cookies and cake.
Cookies. We'll need to start
All
planning
the
that.
things.
All the things, and Diet Coke.
Studio
Well-
chatter masks. Can you get those too?
Yes, let's do it.
There you
Pete,
go. Oh, guys, good luck with your school. You're both going
we
at
go.
it. By the time we film
Yes,
again,
here we go.
we'll be in
We'll have
school.
started.
Just, I'm like, kind of like not thinking it's going to happen. Why do I feel that way? Like
I
at
think
any
it's
time they're just
natural
going
to
to
be
shut it down.
apprehensive
Or,
because
yeah.
it's all been so stop and start. And I've even felt like, okay, we'll start, but when's it going to stop?
right?
Yeah.
Can you guys believe it's been 5 months?
No.
Like this week, it was 5 months ago when it just started shutting down. In fact, today at work was like the most normal day at work I've had in 5 months.
Really?
Like I really went in, I worked, but then I made deliveries to my clients, which I haven't done. And when I was coming back home, I'm like, now that was a good day
day.
of work. I mean, it's not that I haven't worked, but it's just been,
Like
A little
different.
different.
yeah, segmented or something.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Well,
I
before
think
you know
we're
it, it'll
slowly
be
maybe getting
pumpkins
there.
and
Let's just hold it off and don't let it repeat come fall, right?
Yeah.
We
Or our
need to
pumpkins
repeat.
will be wearing masks.
There won't be a lot of that anyway.
Not a lot of trick-or-treating.
Sure.
True. Oh,
Okay.
Good show, ladies.
Yep, really good.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks for being here with us. We hope you enjoyed the chatter. Stay safe.